from? We've got to hit the alarm!
My location.
They're around here. Find them.
Gonna fight you.
What the hell was that?
Sound the alarm! Who's there? Show yourself!
Nothing here. Take her down. Hey, someone's out there. By yourself. I'm going for it. Come in. Go, go, go! KIA! Officer KIA! Clear!
The United Colonies Vanguard program recently celebrated its 15-year anniversary.
Got a call someone's power kept going up. You know what it was? I know it's on
If you ever find yourself with a hot lead, we will do our best to protect your anonymity. Can I help you? Is that so? What's this so-called story about? Corporate greed claims victims once more. Good. The less investigation we need. I don't suppose you want to tell me how you got this evidence. Well, obviously the truth is what matters most. But we have a reputation to uphold as a news network. Well, you can't blame me for... Is there at least a name I can cite as my source? Why am I not surprised? As long as the evidence is adequate and verifiable, I expect it'll be aired with it. Now, if you'll excuse me.
You're in the Vanguard, right?
And accessories.
I believe you were specifically told that we did... Your best is sorely lacking. All the tools at your disposal, and I hope you at least attempted to use the internal neuro app. And yet not useful enough? Still, it's good to know the app. So now it's just a waiting game for SS. Once the story airs, we have another board meeting scheduled to decide. Go ahead, Maeve.
The SSNN broadcast has started. Shall I patch it through?
Yes, thank you.
Citizens of New Atlantis were shocked today when an unidentified assailant left several dead at the Infinity LTD building. The murders are believed to be linked to a new investigation where Drexler would have been accused of numerous violations, including murder for hire, unauthorized human trials, and corporate theft. Authorities representing the UC and the Freestar Collective have been dispatched to a consolidated mining station and the clinic. Both locations are believed to hold numerous victims. Drexler's motivation appears to be an attempt to launch a new product based off stolen information from a competitor. The details on the project itself and the competitor have yet to be confirmed. This has been David Barron for SSNN.
Perfect. This exposure puts Infinity right where we want them. The meeting will begin momentarily, but I want you to discuss the options we have with the other members. Infinity's net worth is about to hit rock bottom. Infinity is about to crumble before the eyes of the public. They employ thousands. That's where we come in. First, we'll issue a public statement expressing... That's when we off... Quite right. The truth is, we'll be making evaluations. By incorporating Infinity, we eliminate a competitor, get their best employees and contracts, and all while boosting our... We've already done some initial evaluation. Infinity has a lot of appeal being in New Atlantis. I'm sure... Plus, there's always that handful of people that think they've got something to prove by not working. I'm glad we're on the same page, which is why I'd like you to talk to the board to convince... There are several who might disagree, and you... Yes, that's exactly what it's designed for. Good. You'll find most of the board members in their offices preparing. Vina is also here, waiting for the meeting to start. We'll need at least 50% of the vote to go our way. In the event of a tie, I trust you'll get it.
Hi, how you doing?
If you don't mind, I'd like... Sounds good. There are a ton of distractions in Neon, so I expect you to be on your best behavior here.
I'm glad we're making an effort in our appearance today. Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details. Good. I prefer first-hand feedback when available. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity LT. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why? Saving the jobs of thousands is altruistic. It's a financial burden. This is true. Infinity never had the financial, getting what few capable employees they have at half the salary we typically. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation? And why do you feel it was well handled? Please note I'm not disagreeing. I just want to know. I agree. Should Masako had informed us too early, we may have all... I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can... It's the next big step for Ryujin Industries. There's no doubt it's... This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
If operations starts to bore you, let me know. You make a perfect lab rat for the R&D team. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not saying it... What? No, of course not. That's great. I'd say Project Dominion, one step closer to seeing market approval. So, tell me what... I'd be the next Ray DeCaris, my childhood hero and mentor. How amazing would that be? DeMarcus, eat your heart out. So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd be? That's what I'm hoping for. They may be the underdog, but that doesn't mean they don't have a brilliant mind or two. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right?
Is Masako checking up on me to make sure? Because that's what I do. You want something in this business? You don't pull any punches. The only real question is just how persuasive she asked you to be. Well, you can let Masako know to rest easy. We just need to grab Infinity Ltd while it's... I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light. The only downsides are the unknowns. Lyndon and Alexis. Not that I'm getting off easy. Whatever they find, if it hits the... Infinity is that sad company in distress with thousands of employees. We are the warm embrace of security. You know, you're right. There's really... If any of those ghosts come to haunt... The consumer is our lifeblood, so capturing... I'm sure I wouldn't be in this position. All right, I suppose you've earned the right to voice your opinion after everything you've done. Qualified, so let's hear it. Don't I know it? I think Alexis and I are truly... We'll discuss security ramifications with Dalton, and I'm sure there are It's sure to be quite... Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk.
So much work to do. If you need something, make it quick. I'd like to make sure my arguments... Choose your words carefully. Now, I can only assume you're referring to Infinity Ltd, and there's only one... All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity... Definitely a point worth considering. That's a decent argument. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom. Nice to know someone is. Everyone's too busy praising its complete... First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tell you... Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or...
I couldn't agree more. It should be completely...
Tech like this only has good applications when you have complete... Once that tech hits a market, open or private, that control is gone. And not only that, the tech is out there to be advanced or modified by anyone who might get their hands on it. Well, I'm both glad and surprised to hear the one person who has one say that. Masako is lucky to have you at her disposal, you know? You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful, but now I really do need to get back to my notes.
This meeting should prove to be very... I assume Masako briefed you on her... That's because you're the one with the tool to... As long as Masako has the internal neuroamp on her side.
Indeed. That technology shouldn't be used for such a nefarious purpose.
If it were up to me, I'd have shut down. I knew it was a grave security risk. I suppose you're right. As long as I'm fully aware of the risks, I can properly account for them. My first priority will be to get the board and all security members set up. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd., we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause. I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd. is obviously... I only hope that Masako... Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ularu's termination of employment at this meeting, so I need to have security ready to escort her up.
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire? Our public perception is good enough, if you ask me. The internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitor. This is exactly why Masako's time is... That neuroamp is a breakthrough. It gives us... Besides, most on the board would agree. So why not use it to seal? Well, it does make Ryujin look good. And we do gain a wider... You're oddly right about this one, Op. As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind, this should make for an interesting meeting. You and me, but... Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make.
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity Ltd's botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial, and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity Ltd.
Believe it or not, I agree. The acquisition has risks, and it's going to create a lot of work for all of us. But the overall payoff will be worth it.
That and Infinity Ltd's current situation makes them more affordable than ever.
Arguments?
Acquiring Infinity Ltd now is not a good look, especially if the public believes Masako was involved.
I think what we're all overlooking is what led us to this situation to begin with. Yes, our security was compromised. But considering Dalton was hired by Masako... In fact, I propose that...
Ularu, this isn't a line you...
And considering you're the mole, if anyone...
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole.
Do you even have any proof to back up?
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against...
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
Did I lose you?
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office.
You'll regret this. All of you.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business.
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up? The internal neuroamp is a key component of Ryujin Why would we shelve it after we've...
Surely I don't have to explain why I'm in agreement. I'd rather not spend...
Very well. Aye. All against?
Nay.
We'll start up discussions on how to handle Project Dominion in the future. In the meantime, at least the only person to have internal neuroamp research will continue. The dangers have been... And don't worry. I'm certain between Alexis and Genevieve, any legal or moral issues will be taken care of by the time it goes to market. Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
If only there were more hours in the day.
I'm glad we're making an effort in our appearance today.
It's good to see you again.
So, Infinity Ltd learned a lesson. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset. It's well earned. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure.
Yes, I'm proud of you as well. Ularu needed to be brought down. If you wouldn't...
Not often, and certainly not. We have the occasional employee consider selling information, but this was the first time anyone from I hope that enthusiasm sticks with you for the foreseeable future. Imogene's instincts were right. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it. As for the details, I think someone back on the office.
When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you.
Handling those tricky decisions regarding Ryujin must have. Those types of corporations remind me why I never venture. No, I suppose they aren't. But take what Ryujin's doing, for example. Based on your recommendation, they'll be continuing their work on the new... Are you implying I should ignore that? Based purely on the fact... You mean other than the fact that it can turn a free will? For you to even ask me that question means you're completely blind. When used properly. But imagine that technology in the wrong hands. Imagine the awful... How about making someone forcibly end their own life? Or worse, taking control of someone's mind and implanting suggestions is... unbelievable. I'm disappointed that we don't share the same view on this. But your life...
I've got my eye on you.
You've certainly shaken things up around. I still can't believe Ularu tried to but now that's all in the past. And I'd say it's good to be back if I hadn't returned. Now, since you were new, you've been dealing with people, but most of our assignments are general. The board holds any available assignments that our techs have Nothing you aren't already familiar. You experience the majority of what we do here during uploading a few files, manipulating a narrative or two. Well, after this conversation, you can head up to your office. Just think of it as a computer that lets you pick and choose your assignments at... No, but try to see that as an improvement. The mission board is more efficient. I wish. Assignment approval. With your promotion, you've earned yourself an office, so whenever you're ready, you can find your own. And the best perk of them all, you're free. Oh, and, no, only within the tower. The security risk would be far too... At this point, go check out the board. And if you have any questions, I suppose I can start up.
Ugh, Sidonia. Check your suit seals. Martian dust gets everywhere.
Got anything? Anything I can help you with? Looks to me like you're already in pretty good... Sure, have at it.
Well, I hope you never need it. Okay, one more. Oh, not good. Okay. Well, there's no sense in downplay. Well then, off you go. Stay healthy.
The embattled Star Yard looked on the verge of ruin.
Getting this equipment, these goods, IMS. Take a look. Hey, get you on the flip side.
You're listening to the Settled Systems News Network.
Percival walking through there with you? Oh, glad to see he's still kicking.
Acknowledged. You're clear to dock at docking port 1. The commander will be waiting for you in operations.
Docking cycle complete.
Commander Econde wants to see you.
Hello.
Follow me.
I am satisfied to see that you survived your most recent
I had a
sleep
friend.
cycle.
I hope I'll be able to see him next time on shore leave.
The fleet call us sharks.
They know what happens when we see red.
The Vigilance or flagship, where it goes?
We received word you boarded the Ragana. I don't care if Rake was with the fleet. What you did was uncalled for. Physically, I'm sure they'll be fine. They're long haulers, not soldiers. And they were forced to watch one of... You and I both know that seeing someone die firsthand. We've already set up counseling support for the crew, should they feel the need, given time. You coerced the pilot into taking a crew member's life. You cannot simply pass off the burden of the job. The Crimson Fleet is motivated purely by material wealth. I believe you're fully capable of avoiding the need to take a life. But if it... Good. Now I want to make this crystal clear. You do what you can to stay in the fleet. But do something like this again... But for now... Then it worked. You're in. As distasteful as you... Now it's time for the next phase of...
Our intel on Saoirse was correct. After we received reports on your interaction with Adler Kemp...
Our files indicate she's second in command, so getting on a good side would it... The woman has a record that could stretch across Seoul and back. She started young as one of Neon's street rats. She's a force to be reckoned. Yes, you pass your... But before we get too confident, that either means she suspects nothing. Just remember, these are ruthless criminals.
And their ruthlessness is only surpassed. You should proceed with caution.
So what's next for you on Neva's agenda? Where you'll meet Delgado, no doubt.
Delgado is the leader of the Crimson Fleet. I have a profile here with some... You'll want to know the individual cadences of every member of the fleet, but... Delgado?
Agreed. The last thing we need is to infiltrate the fleet, only to be kicked out because we've underestimated one of their people.
I don't disagree, but it's important to know your enemy. In any case, now that you're with the fleet, we will shadow you eventually, but we'll need to maintain our distance. This will also give us time to bolster our defenses, should we need to engage.
Sir, on that note, shall we begin implementing the upgrade to our shields?
Immediately, Lieutenant. Notify the engineers and relay the... I hope your entry into the fleet has overcome any doubts you may have had regarding your mission. Keep up the good work. We'll expect...
The lieutenant wants those reports on her desk by tomorrow morning.
Which report? The estimated fleet ship count, or the numbers on their potential finances?
Both. And every other report you've been assigned.
We're ready to depart.
The take was 10K, but it was 30. Big difference on 40% of 10 versus 30.
You wanted 4K, you got 4K. Not my problem.
If you're stealing from me, you bet your ass it's your problem.
You kidding me? Way to make a mess in front of my new rook.
Hey, steal from me and get caught? Better off dead.
Sounds like you did the fleet a favor. Now toss this body out of an airlock before it turns into a damn air freshener.
Captain, greetings.
The hell took you so long? Forget how to grab? Please. It'd be one less sloppy rook who's... The last thing I need is another Austin rate getting cold feet. You want to leave the fleet? You pay the price. Fair enough. Glad to see. Just be careful that you can back up that attitude before you squirm. But, all that aside, you pencils ready? Good. This floating scrap heap you're standing on is called the Key. Used to be an old UC mill. Might look a little beat up on the outside, but... Sure did. Right out from under their noses. Way before you. Don't worry. Delgado will tell you. You think? And that's only part of it. But I can give you the short version while we walk.
Story time?
Anyway, I'll tell you all about the Key. But it's better if I...
Find anything useful?
So, the Key is in orbit around Suvorov. That's the very same ice ball where the United Colonies built a supermax prison they call the Lock. The UC is so clever. Supermax prison, Lock, Key. Huh, cute, huh? Now, we've got everything the fleet needs right here. Of course, you've got to pay for it. Remember, on the Key, credits are king. What the hell is this?
All right, hang on, Nev. Before you get pissed, I've got my hands full.
Jasmine, sweetie, I'm trying to give a tour here. So you want to tell me why those damn doors are sealed?
It's called a malfunction. You know, that thing I spend most of my day dealing with. Believe me, my people are on it. Have a little faith for once.
Aww. And you always, Angel. This here's Jasmine. You need anything for your ship, she's got you covered. We'll hit up the depot next since these doors have given out on us. So anyway, we were talking about the Lock. About 100 years ago, the prisoners down there rioted and took over the place. After stealing some ships, they were actually able to make it up here and took over the Key.
About time you brought us new blood, neighbor. I was getting tired of trading with the same old faces.
You're just ticked everyone's getting wise to your ridiculous prices, Aludra. Anyway, welcome to the depot, Rook, where you'll be lucky if these blood-sucking leeches don't bleed you completely dry.
Whoa, whoa. It's not our fault that people don't appreciate how much it costs to get untraceable merchandise onto the Key.
Neva's just whining because she thinks she lost a ton of cash selling us a shipment of gear. She should have done her homework.
Yeah, sure, laugh it up. I'll remember that next time I need something from you cheapskates. Let's move on. Back to my story. After the liberated prisoners grabbed the key, they established it as a base of operations and began pirating the spaceways. That was how the Crimson Fleet began. Of course, Jasper Cricks had a lot to do with all that, but we'll get to him later. Rook, meet Zuri, queen of the rare exports.
If I don't have it, you don't need it.
Neuroamps, blueprints. Hit her up and she'll take care of you.
Speaking of which, you still owe me for that last purchase, Neva. It's like 5 figures. Don't make me collect it the hard way.
The hard way? Oh no. Rook, protect me from Zuri's vengeance. Enough of the bullshit, Zuri. I'll pay you when I pay you. Deal with it. Got a problem with that? Take it up with the boss. On the right, you've got Bradley from the Trade Authority. I'm sure you know the deal there. He'll buy pretty much anything, no matter how hot. Then we got our med bay on the left, run by the one and only Samina Mizra. She'll patch you up, if you've got the money. We don't run any free clinics up in here, you don't? Okay, this is our final stop. Over there, you've got the Last Nova, where Bog serves watered-down drinks at ridiculously exorbitant prices. And right here is the most important place on the entire station. The Reckoner's Core, run by the incomparable Shinya Voss.
Another new Rook, Neva? I can't believe Delgado still lets you recruit given what happened with the last one.
You mean Austin Rape? It's been taken care of, all right? I don't like loose ends, and this Rook is the one who tied it off.
Perhaps next time you'll try to be a bit more discerning regarding your choices. It's far more cost-effective.
Yeah, love you too, darling. Anyway, Shinya handles our lifeblood. The money. We call him our Reckoner, but if you ask me, he's actually a pain in the ass.
And Neva will slit your throat if she thinks you'll bleed creds.
Go to hell, boss. Take care of our new friend here, or I'll find a way to pull the pin on that little party popper in your chest. Anyway, Shinya will get you set up in our system. I've got real work to do. Once you're done, head upstairs and I'll introduce you to the boss.
Time for a proper introduction. I am Shinya Voss, the official. And since Neva so thoughtfully mentioned it, yes, this is a bomb embedded in my chest. And no, I'll never know the meaning of the word humble. In fact, I find Delgado's idea of a security measure Glad you approve. Obviously betrayal, since I oversee the bulk of transactions and maintain all accounts for the fleet. Should our enemies capture me or I grew any semblance of a... For Delgado, the bomb grants peace of mind. It's why he's the boss. Of course, I'm not the first Reckoner to bear a bomb under my ribcage. Now, let me get you set up. A moment while I convene. Thanks to advanced modifications even Nugent would envy, I can interface directly with our mainframe and the Galbank network. This allows me to move and clean credits faster and more efficiently than any run-of-the-mill cyber runner. There, you're done. All you need now is Delgado's blessing, and you'll be one of us. None. Other than my chest and arm modification. Is the interview over? The perfect segue into my final... Thanks to our relations with contacts across the galaxy, I've granted you all the necessary permissions to access... Oh, you know, smuggling, piracy, taking things that aren't yours. Nothing that should keep you up at night. If Neva's chosen wisely. No, I believe that covers all I have to say. Take the elevator to the upper level. You should be.
Alright, listen up. You can all stop complaining. Atrium to cargo bay doors have been repaired. Oh, and you're welcome, Nev.
Nothing like the smell of a dead shark after you cook them with an energy blast.
Always listen to Delgado. Unless you want to get keel-hauled across the key.
Be sure you have the proper shielding for any smuggling jobs.
The fleet protects our own. You turn against us.
Let's see what we have now. What'll it be, friend? Buying? Oh, but the Crimson Fleet is. The trade business on the Key is like no other. It's just... Not everyone thinks so. I'm still traded. There are a few Navi. Regardless, as long as the fleet has goods to push, the Trade Authority... I left a similar lifestyle behind when a lot of the rooks here see freedom and lawlessness. But that's only if you don't get caught. True? Let's just say I've done my... With the credits I amassed, I gave the Trade Authority a sizable... So... I'm sure we can work. Remember, all trades are restriction-free.
So there I am. UC security.
I
on my
hope you came
tail,
with credits.
And my grav drive just.
I was raised fleet. My mama joined up when I was 12. We'd always lived comfortably, but she took the offer to join. She figured if anything ever happened to her. Hell no. The two things I don't want in this life? A real boss, and Del lets me do what I want to here, as long as he knows I'm loyal. I sell what I want, I work when I want, I do what I want. It's been non-stop. Even as a kid, I was helping distract security. It's amazing how just having a child aboard, especially one, between my mama and the fleet, I can talk my way out of anything. And use her real-life skills, if you know what I sell a little bit of everything, but only if it's neuroamps, a few unique reasons. Anything that's rare. Don't be a stranger.